If investing was a spur-of-the-moment option for you to consider, everyone would have made $1 million, isn't it? Last time we checked, there were terms which may not even sound like anything meaningful, like this one, Fibonacci retractment. What would anyone understand out of this term unless we spend time and educate ourselves about it? Mr. Kiyosaki summed up some pretty good high-level rules that can serve as a guiding light for most people. While there are a ton of rules available, these are some of the best ones. In today's video, we'll talk about Robert Kiyosaki's 6 basic rules of investing. So make sure you watch the video till the end. But before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos every week. Rule number 1, adjust your money mindset. Your money mindset is made up of your core beliefs and ideas about money, how you make it, and how it works. It comes down to how you feel about money, how you handle debt, how much money you give away, and how well you manage investments will determine how much potential earnings you will get. How you think about money also affects how you treat other people, both rich and poor. Don't you think it's often the easy moneymakers that end up mistreating people who are not so financially sound? That's because they lack the effort and are not aware of the time that may be required to earn that kind of money on their own. Many of our most important beliefs about money are formed when we were young by what we see and hear about money from our family members, friends, community, and others, especially our parents. You can be in charge of your money if you know how you think about it and where it came from. When you go on a trip, you put your coordinates into the GPS before you leave. When you change your mind, you should do the same thing with your money. You can see how far you've come when you know where you started. It's like looking at the GPS and seeing that you've already traveled 200 miles, but with money. It's the journey of a lifetime. We never really get where we're going. We just keep moving and growing. The journey itself is the goal. Rule number 2, know what kind of income you're working for. People think that getting a paycheck is the only way to make money, and most people get paid for their time and skills. But there are 2 other main ways to make money. Not easy, of course, but with your time. If you want to make more money, you need to know about the 3 most common ways to make money. Most people get their money from their regular jobs. They land a 9-to-5 job and work long hours. They get paid every 2 weeks or at the end of the month. This kind of income tax is the most expensive, which makes it harder to get rich. Most people who make a lot of money also have some other source of income. This can be a 401k, an IRA, or other paper assets like stocks, mutual funds, or bonds. Most of the money in a portfolio comes from paper assets, which are either put back into the fund or paid out as dividends. It is the second type of income that is taxed the most out of the 3. Due to its lower returns, it is slightly harder to make a fortune. Most of the time, royalties, real estate, and business distributions are the sources of passive income. Most people know about royalties from books or music. You do the work once, and as long as people buy your books or music, you keep getting paid for it. It's kind of like a normal job that you put effort into it, and it keeps paying you even after you're done. Rent from a property is also a form of passive income. It works by putting in the work to find the property, get the money to buy the property, find renters, set up systems to keep the property in good shape, and collect the rent. Once everything is set up, all you have to do is let the system repay you. Number 3, convert ordinary income into passive income. Normal income usually depends on how many hours you work, and you can't work more than 8 hours a day. And if you do, be ready to say goodbye to your social life and family. Most people can only work a few hours per day, and by work, we mean with full dedication and least distractions. This is the part where you can use your business income to reach your income goals through passive means. People think investing is risky, but the thing is that the only thing that could make things riskier is the investor, not the investment itself. Some investors lose money, while others make money, and the same is true for the other way around. It's the reckless investments that lead to frequent losses. Investing does involve some risk, which is why it's important to learn, analyze, and study the process. If you know enough about investing, you can cut down on your losses and make more money and hence lower risks. This rule means that the investor is the one who ends up being the asset or a liability. If you want to go from being a liability to an asset as an investor, you should first invest in your financial education as part of your education, since nothing beats real life experience. Start investing with a small amount of money, learn from your mistakes, and then move on to bigger investments. Makes sense? The next one will be even better. Rule number 4, the investor is the asset or liability. A lot of people consider investing to be a high-risk behavior. How big of a risk will an investment be if the investor is not ready to take such risks? The investor can either be an asset or a liability for any investment. According to Robert Kiyosaki, there are many investors who lose money even when everyone else is making it. In point of fact, a good investor loves to follow behind a risky investor because that is where the real investment bargains can be found. Does that mean copying? Definitely not. Maybe a little, but that's not the point. Your knowledge of the financial world can either be an advantage or a disadvantage, depending on how you choose to use it. If you have a low financial IQ but decide to get involved in high-stakes investments anyway, you are going to make a lot of mistakes that investors with high financial IQ will be able to capitalize on. Because nothing can replace the value of actual life experience. The best way to go from being a risky investor to a good investor is to first make an investment in your financial education as part of your overall education. When you first begin investing, start with a small amount, learn from your mistakes, then gradually increase the amount you invest. No one's born intelligent, but anyone can be intelligent through practice. Rule number 5, good deals attract money. You have to stop giving money what it wants and take charge of it. If you're a slave to money, it starts to control you, and you either don't have it or can't control it. This is one of the clearest signs that someone is stuck in poverty. A bad way to think about money is as a goal in and of itself. Most people see money as their boss, something they have to work for in order to pay their bills, stay on top of their debt, and make ends meet. If you keep thinking this way, money will control you. To bring money into your life, you need to be in charge of it. The hard part actually is finding ways to make money work for yourself. Money can help you or hurt you, depending on how you use it. Once you start to think of money as something you can control and use to your advantage, you are well on your way to attracting wealth into your life. Find the deals that are best for you. Better deals means better money. If all you do is think about money, you might not make more of it. Instead, you should concentrate on good deals and better ways to bring in money. Can't keep up with us? Stay tuned. The best parts are now starting. Rule number 6, learn to evaluate risk and reward. The risk to reward ratio helps investors figure out how likely it is that they will lose money when they trade. Remember that choosing the deal part we mentioned earlier? This could help you make the right choices as well. Even if a trader makes money on some trades, if their win rate is below a certain value, they will lose money over time. The risk to reward ratio is the difference between a trade entry point and a stop loss and a sell or take profit order. The ratio of profit to loss or reward to risk can be found by comparing these two numbers. When trading individual stocks, investors use stop-loss orders to help limit their losses and keep a close eye on the risk-to-reward ratio of their investments. A stop-loss order is a trading trigger that is put on a stock. If a stock reaches a certain value, the stop-loss order will automatically sell the stock from a portfolio. Stop-loss orders can be set up automatically through brokerage accounts, and investors usually don't have to pay extra for them. You might not be able to do it perfectly at first, but as time goes on, you'll get a better idea of how it works, and which will help you figure out how much risk you're willing to take for how much reward you'll get. Alright everyone, this brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for keeping watching until the end. We really appreciate it. Before we meet the next time, how about you tell us in the comments section about your experience with a few of these tips. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you will never miss any videos from us. We'll see you in the next video.